Tradthots.
Yes.
There's been a calendar. It's like a meteor hitting the Earth. The most mediocre of controversies.
Yes.
That completely sailed over me. And then it blew up even more. And I was just like, really?
I'm friends with a lot of American conservatives, and for like 2 weeks, this is all they talked about over Christmas. And I was just like,
do you not have a Christmas to get on with?
Yeah, I know. It was literally my entire feed was mediocre, unprovocative calendar is the worst thing to ever happen to the right. I'm like,
so this is what we're talking about. And I wanted to get you guys' opinions on this, I suppose, and the controversy as well of all that it was. This is the ultra-right company over here. They're basically just people who make stuff for right-wingers to be like, you're supporting the right because you brought our beers or mugs or whatever else, right? And they decided to make this calendar here for 25 buckaroos. The Real Women of America 2024. And then here are the images. Ah, damn, can I not make that bigger? Oh well. This might be a bit difficult if I can't. There we are. It's not the best way to do it. There we are. Perfect. So here we are. This is the months and the ladies involved and what they wore. There's a woman in a bikini with one of their beers.
Just to be clear, Americans invented the bikini.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Is that true?
Maybe. I don't know.
Came to me in a dream.
Yeah. Came to me just now as a vision. But I'm sure they did. I'm going to have to look it up.
Let us know. There's a lady here burning the New York Times.
Yeah, I've been on her show.
All right.
She's normal.
Wearing a dress.
Yeah, no, there's I saw people being like, "Oh my god, Sarah Gonzalez is wearing like as if it was some sort of pornographic outfit." I'm like, that's pretty tame.
And then there's Dana Loesch here.
Yeah,
again,
fully clothed, right,
with some guns and a t-shirt. Okay. And then someone working out. And I will admit, actually, there isn't. Oh, I'll tell that later. In fact, there's a lady here with her pie and an apron.
She caused a lot of controversy because she's got legs.
And then there's Ashley St. Clair here, who I suppose is the most revealing of those. I mean, I can see cleavage,
I guess,
but I'm not a member of ISIS, so I don't really. I'm sorry, I didn't really get this one. I just was a bit confused. It was like, isn't this America? Like, don't people have pin-up girls since, I don't know, the 30s?
That's what I mean. I'm sure America invented the bikini, and like, so this seems like very obviously American, right?
I mean, I think that one in particular is a bit pushing it. I think with the Riley Gaines one, sure, like she's a swimmer, it makes sense. But there is sort of an obvious sexualization of a lot of these calendar
women
models of women. Yeah.
But I think women inherently to men are sort of sexualized. Like, even just looking at women, women are attractive beings to men. But it is true that obviously you're exaggerating some there with her being in the bath.
Sure.
That is something else. But again, I'm not looking at this and thinking porn.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a solid 2 or 3.
I don't know. But here we go. There's some more here. I mean, you are right. I'll agree with you on that. Which, having your tits out whilst sitting by the sink.
Yeah,
okay,
this woman here, like, I mean,
that one there, I don't
like. Come on, like, I agree that maybe when women go to the gym, maybe they shouldn't be wearing lingerie, but this isn't actually that indecent.
I mean, yeah, this one. I mean, that's kind of
suggestive.
That's kind of pornographic.
Yeah,
that's a beach. That's
like
this doesn't make me go cover up, you slut. Is all I'm thinking.
Where is her burqa?
Well, that's a good question. And I should have brought more to sell. Anyway, but you can see that one there as well, which is a swimsuit.
Maybe it's just because I grew up in the 90s, man, and this was like
all advertising.
Yeah,
back in the good old days.
Yeah, and I like it, but the thing is, you can't actually see anything. Like, everything relevant is sufficiently covered, and most of it is done by implication.
I'm going to get something if I can that my brother sent me. I don't know if I can get WhatsApp to load properly. I really should have included this. I completely forgot about it. Someone decided to film Albanian TV, the news, and the weather.
Oh yeah, what about Mexican weather?
Mexican weather?
Have you not seen the Mexican weather girls?
John, pull that up.
No, John. You can't pull that up. Right? The Mexican weather girls are basically pornography. Okay. And South American weather girls generally, it's basically pornography. You'll have to look it up after the podcast when you go home.
I was hoping that would be
when you're on your own.
I thought it would be a good point of comparison to this whole thing. So, in case you're wondering, this calendar got released. That's the story, right?
Okay, no, I think you can get some of these up, John.
Carl's looking, right?
Well, John got them up.
OnlyFans presents Mexican weather programs.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, technically, they're all covered.
I mean, that one is funny. But I did see someone compare Iraqi weather station girls to Swedish, and the Swedish one was wearing a niqab, and the Iraqi one was wearing a dress like this.
Yeah.
It's the West. But either way,
we get to do Islam right.
But here's the thing. I mean, this is a response. So, handing over and playing with your cards there. New conservative pinup calendar girl, what do you think? Whoa, very nice. Pick them up with 100% woke ultra-free right beers yesterday. Trad swimsuit. That's Riley Gaines. She thinks trans men shouldn't compete in women's sports. It's just like, I don't get the downsides. This confused me a bit, is all I'm saying.
It's because they're not appropriately covered up like a 50s housewife wearing a dress. That's what this is about.
But then the red libertarian girl kind of was. But either way, this whole controversy...
Yeah, apart from the ones that were, okay?
This started off with a more of a female critique. This didn't actually run into the right-wing male side, but it started off with ladies like this, saying, you could probably guess what I think about the calendar branded for conservative dads, filled with pictures of women. Many of them married, and many of them very scantily clad. I hate it. I also find the discourse ridiculous. You are the dad in the room.
You're virtue signaling to the discourse.
As if we're all supposed to pretend we don't understand the purpose of the calendar of posed, full-body pictures of women. You can call me a prude, puritanical, or jealous of these women's beauty, whatever makes you feel better. I just don't see the value in marketing what's basically, in some photos, softcore porn to married or unmarried men. Of course, I think the women are gorgeous, and blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay.
I think there is like this really weird instinct for women to just hate on other women. And I think they sort of rationalize it. They use some sort of rationalization, oh, I think they're very pretty and everything. Like, I have many conservative...
sluts.
Yeah. I have many female conservative friends, and the actual barrier of what they consider conservative or not is so arbitrary. And I think it actually comes from what they think what they consider comfortable rather than what they actually think is conservative. Like, I think there is an argument to dress modestly, and if women want to dress modestly, like, that's fine. I'm for that as a conservative. But I think what our perception of modesty is, for one, in the West, like, women are given so many options of what to wear. Like, if you go in any, like, mainstream store, it is quite provocative. If you look at what models are wearing, what actresses are wearing, there are mixed messages for women. So it is hard to be a conservative woman or a woman alone. Controversial opinion, but I think it's true.
No, I agree with Jess. Bring back the burqa.
I did have one.
Well, there we go. New line of burqas.
But I don't know. I've asked John if we can load up the previous link, because there's a response from the women in question in which the women who took part are basically having that response where they're like, I don't own a burqa, so I'm very sorry, but I'll bring it back. I don't know if you can get that one, John, or not. It's just above the one we're currently looking at, the Sarah Gonzalez thing, because she was one of the ladies in question, the one burning the New York Times newspaper. And she just responds with saying, I've been reliably informed that I'm demonic for doing this. And it's just, okay.
She seemed like a normal person when I met her. She didn't seem much like a demon.
Didn't investigate far enough.
No.
I thought women equaled Hitler, Carl.
Yeah, well, they do, but that's not demon.
Okay. What?
Well, Hitler was a man, I presume.
Okay, yeah, fair. But this went on, and you can see the redheaded libertarian was just posting this one. I was like,
can we not give a more substantive critique? As in, okay, this actually isn't a great photo, right? The lighting is too strong, so everyone's faces and features are washed out. You've got a white background with some white paper on the background, and white things. Like, you could have a much more interesting actual photo.
Yeah.
The
can looks like it can be very easily knocked over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just so small details that are really annoying me. But it's not that I can see some of her legs.
I think it is a bit larpy, though. I mean, in another tweet, she's like, I'm not a conservative, but it's like you're posing as a trad wife.
Yeah.
I think there's a room for idealism and, saying it's good to be a stay-at-home wife, or it's good to, like, serve your family as a woman and a mother. there is that, but I do think this is a bit LARPy, and it's just going on them ideals of what it means to be a trad wife.
This whole thing's really hilarious. Like, he's not paying any attention to her at all. He's just like,
It is a bit strange, actually.
yeah, he looks like a robot, like the Terminator. She's trying to like, right, okay, maybe I give him dinner.
You know that cutlery thing you could do? for
Yeah.
asshole.
He's coloring up. Like, what is going on? Like, it's so unnatural, you know?
Yeah. But that conservative aspect, I think that really is the point of discussion. Because that lady from earlier, I mean, she ends it off, that critique, in which her problem, and I find this a lot, I don't think it's a small thing, where she says, the polarization between the Christian and secular conservatism is only going to grow, my friends, so buckle up. And I find this a lot whenever we talk about pornography or something. There's a very, I think, small proportion, really, of people who get quite offended by these things or very concerned about them. And I don't really get them. Because, I mean, like you mentioned, she says she's not a conservative. Well, she isn't. She says she's a libertarian.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that means that she can't do this. Like,
A libertarian should be allowed to do this.
well, this is the what do you think about this? So the concept of trad wife, traditional wife, with traditional roles, traditional modesty, and therefore the kind of fashion you wear that's appealing is in a certain way rather than whorish. It's a different type of fashion, right? Why is that exclusive to ideology? I mean, just because socialists are all mental and do mental stuff. I mean, yeah, them. I don't know why everyone else has to be kicked out. I don't think that's true.
I think our idea of what trad means as well is kind of skewed. Like I have a conservative friend. She is actually conservative, but her definition of conservative, she thinks being in a monogamous relationship is traditional. It's like most people
Jesus
I know
Christ.
are in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not a barrier.
I mean, on a technicality, she's right. But substantively, that doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah.
Where does she live out of interest? Just like the city.
Reading.
Reading. Oh God. Okay, so outer London.
Yeah.
So I do worry about that. 'cause-
I just see a lot of this as being a manifestation of like American Puritanism. Do you remember the country was founded by Puritans? Right?
Yeah. I mean, you can see Georgia here having a laugh.
Yeah.
It's like, there you are, fixed it.
Yeah.
No problems now.
And it's not to say that there isn't like an extreme on either end. Obviously, there is, and that would be one extreme, and the other extreme is, of course, you know, the gym thoughts that you constantly see videos of these days. Like the one with the painted on costume. It's like she's naked. What is she doing in this gym?
Yeah, she's a whore.
But there is, I think, a fairly reasonable middle ground of it's okay to have a sort of pin-up calendar that isn't too racy, and none of that was racy, really. You know, that's fine. It's a small thing that dads do because they're married.
I would kind of like to see a burqa pin-up now, though. Do you not think that'd be a laugh?
I mean, you
Just-
may as well.
Get some Islamists to make it, but they've got to make it like trad wifey still. I don't know what you have to do with that, but that's a challenge. Just issue to any of our Islamic viewers. Good luck, boys. But anyway, I don't know what this one is. I said this is what he was.
Yeah. I just found it interesting. Again, it's like I said, women are given mixed messages, and again, you have autonomy over what you do. But there are lots of women who have just recently realized the sexual revolution, maybe it's not a good thing. And because they've participated in the sexual revolution, and their body count is probably a bit higher than the trads like to have, they're sort of ostracized for that. And I think that's just unhelpful, especially since society gives such a mixed message. I think there should be redemption. And again, it's like all these so-called trad accounts, they've sort of lost that Christian aspect of it, off forgiveness, off redemption. And I don't know, again, it's like LARPy. I think everything is so LARPy about this. The calendar's LARPy, and then the people criticizing them are LARPy. It's just a nothing burger, I'd say.
But I imagine very few of these people are living in any way. You know, all the anons criticizing all the women like posing like sexily. Like, I think very few people in their actual daily lives actually live in these ways at all. Like, there's nothing really authentic that underpins it. Like you're saying, it's all a LARP.
Yeah,
It's like a LARP for Twitter.
They wouldn't be on Twitter if they're actually living traditionally.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's, you know, I think,
What are you, the Amish?
they don't have to be like, yeah, Amish or anything. But like, you know, there's definitely sort of a lack of substance, right? Like the anons who are going out, you're not dressing as a trad wife. It's like, dude, you're playing Call of Duty all the time and smoking weed and sitting there whining on Twitter, blah blah blah. You know, and then these, the women aren't doing like slutty things really. They're just like, oh, I posed for a thing because I thought I was helping conservatism or whatever. It's like, they're married, they have kids, they get on with their lives, right? And so it's just like no one's really doing any of the things showing any of the things they actually do here. But anyway,
what do you think about that redemption aspect? I mean, because there's two sides of that. You have the side that's like, no, you made your decisions and that's your life. You can't undo what you've done. And then as you're illustrating here, well, that side of it, you've now got a Bible and a dress. But then there's also the whole LARPing thing. I mean, she's a libertarian. She's not even trying to be conservative.
Yeah.
But if you LARP it until it's just you, do you think that's real?
I think, again, it's what actually makes a trad wife. Is it just wearing an apron and just like delivering your husband and family food, making your family food? That is an actual core of what makes a good wife and mother. I think when it's not just the aesthetics, when it's not just a picture on social media, like there's this like blonde woman who always does like trad wife videos. That's a bit LARPy, but I'm sure she actually lives like that.
Yeah, and but also that's obviously a fetish as well, because if you look at the dead center of the screen, it's breast. She always has her boobs as the dead center of the screen. I know the one you're talking about. Like it's not like. Anyway, sorry.
It's interesting how you call that a fetish.
Well, no, but but like a woman can be covered up and also be revealing, right? Like that's what an ultra tight. Every woman knows that when she's wearing like an ultra tight shirt that is insanely figured, she knows she's doing that for a reason, right? So
you can do it because it looks nice, for the girlies.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm saying that when you fill yourself and your chest is the very middle of the screen, not your face is the middle of the screen, your chest is the middle of the screen, you're wearing an ultra tight thing. You know what you're doing. Every woman knows what they're doing.
I think it's interesting how you said like it's also a fetish thing because again, like a woman wearing a traditional outfit, that can be considered sexual. But also the women in like the conservative calendars, like again, it depends on the context. If I wear a bikini at the beach, that's fine. But if I just go out in my underwear in public, everyone, I don't know, maybe today.
Everyone freaks out.
Everyone freaks out.
I don't know. It's a weird way to make any analysis on that because I think really women are sexual beings. Like regardless of what they're wearing, there's some way of sexualizing that. Because like you're saying, pick any type of outfit, and there's some guy out there that's in the mood for that particular aesthetic. It seems. And but we'll get back to
should the responsibility be on the guy then rather than the women? Because it's like the conservative dad thing. There's not much conversation around the actual dad seeing this. If you want to say it's like soft porn, why are these, dads in families seeing this kind of thing if it's soft porn? Surely that should be the issue rather than the women who are posing for it, really.
Thing is, I always feel that this argument's a bit like, well, I shouldn't have to lock my door because the onus is on the thief not to steal. It's like, I know, but he's a thief,
like Ooga Booga male brain hot.
Yeah, exactly. Men are stupid and horny. So maybe
But if you get sexualized for everything,
yes. I don't know, I'm not saying there's an answer, and I'm not saying it's a perfect world. I'm just saying I don't think we should put it on the guys to be like, yeah, you're not allowed. I mean, there's a certain degree of that, but like in the more immediate thing, if you dress sensibly, then
I think it's just true of men and women. Though I'm going to tell that story I was going to mention earlier because the tightness of clothing. So when I was in Afghanistan, you wear Afghan clothes, which are basically like the big pajama things the Muslims
wear their pajamas outside.
That's
crazy.
Wonderful. They're the best thing in the world. Honestly, you know how you wear your pajamas when you sat around your house?
I don't know pajamas now.
But imagine if everyone was doing that and you could do it 24/7. It's the best way to live, sincerely.
Low standards.
No, because everyone's doing it and it's all plain colored. It looks normal and it's nothing weird about it. Once you do it for like a week, you become part of the brain, right? But also, I did notice that when I came back to the West, so I got the plane, I got off at the UAE to get my bag, and we were getting on a plane to the UK. And I was waiting in line, and the woman in front of me was just wearing very normal, some trousers and like a shirt, and I think it was more like a dress shirt, so you could see like the top of her cleavage. And because I've been in Afghanistan for a little while, I looked at her and went, "What a whore! Why does she want me to have sex with her?" Sincerely, a part of my brain said this, for instance, why does she want me to have sex with her?
I can see the shape of her body, that whore.
Yeah, unironically.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, wait, have I gone mental? What's happened to me? But it is totally true, because then I got back and I'm wearing my normal male Western clothes, which is some jeans that are looking at them after wearing the baggy stuff. You're like, Jesus, I look like a whore.
So are you suggesting that Afghan women are looking at Western men going, oh, look at these sluts?
Sort of, yeah. And I don't blame
See
them.
the gap between their thighs.
Because, I mean, at one point, after not seeing any woman in the Western context for a while, because on the day the Taliban parade was taking place, some journalists came from the Arab world, and there was a female journalist, and she was wearing her abaya. So it's still sort of baggy, but you could see the outline of her ass. It existed. And the guy we're with, one of our drivers, just went, oh, look at that. It just, oh my God, Mohammed, yes, that's disgraceful. I'm just saying that there is a big difference between what we do isn't actually that normal. Is it a bit strange that all of our clothes are so tight in the West? And that's men and women. So anyway.
Got no answers to this.
Moving on. So I suppose.
Yeah, so this also received controversy as well for similar reasons. Guys are saying this, and women as well, they're saying this is inappropriate. What do you guys think?
Yeah, but I don't think this is
Do you think
pornographic. I just think it's like, I don't know if I'd share my birth with social media.
your birth?
Yeah, that too. I've got the family photos, actually. No. So
Don't put them on Twitter.
isn't this more like, because there's people who make stuff that goes on social media, but you're also a human being. You don't share everything because that would be mental, right? I'm coming up from that perspective.
Yeah, I think, to be fair though, the limits of what to share and what not to share are sort of skewed nowadays. Like, everyone is sharing everything. I don't know. I saw someone say the reason why it's inappropriate is because she's looking at the camera. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I thought it was something interesting to say. But it's like, you can barely see her boobs. Like, surely, again, this is like, this isn't LARPing. She's actually had a baby.
Yeah.
She's actually breastfeeding the baby. Like, shouldn't this be a conservative ideal?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's something about the fact that she is. I don't know how to frame it. Like, most every time I've been at 3 births now. A man, like, my wife would not want me to put a photo of her up. Right?
That's what I'm getting at.
It's not even that it should be about modesty. It should be like, I look awful, right? Because it's a stressful event. So she definitely wouldn't want me to put a picture up, and it never occurred to me to do so. So it's kind of a weird thing.
Like, fine,
I don't know.
It's your life. Do whatever you want.
Well, yeah,
But I wouldn't. That's all.
yeah. I don't know.
Fair enough. Well.
Speak, I'm in big trouble.
Oh, this is the. This is Tittygate, isn't it?
The biggest controversy.
Yeah, right. This is what I'm talking about. She knows what she's doing. Right?
I don't know.
She does. Look, she's covered in makeup. Her boobs are in the very center of the screen. She's wearing the tightest top she can and a push-up bra. She knows what she's doing.
Is this not just your version of my...
No, she knows what she's doing.
Why does she want me to have sex with her?
Yeah, but that's what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. I'm not buying it. Women, you're not innocent. I don't believe it.
I don't know. I sort of read this as the rightest version of the bake the cake controversy. Because I saw someone, they tweeted, so this is me cooking a cake. Where's the cake? It's right below the bottom of the screen. Why are you focusing on my huge tits? Why are you doing that?
Okay,
Stop
go to the
sexualizing.
first frame.
First
Go
frame.
to the first frame.
Okay. Radio.
I was going to tweet that. Right. Okay, right. So, question, would she do that to an audience of kindergartners?
Yeah.
No, of course she wouldn't. That's a
Talk
flirt. No, that's a flirtatious. She's winking and doing some sort of little smile.
Is that not just a cute pose though?
Yeah, but
You've not interacted enough with Instagram, mate.
This is a flirtation. Yeah, no, but that's why they do it, to get male attention, right? This is a flirtatious pose. She knows she's dressing like this for a reason. I'm not buying it at all.
She's just wearing a
I'm not
shirt,
saying she
though.
shouldn't do it.
This
I'm
is a
not saying she
generational
shouldn't do it.
difference. So I know what
This is 100% flirtatious.
I know
She's
where you're
doing this for
coming
male
from.
attention.
I know where you're coming from, and that makes sense to what you're thinking. But I've unfortunately had to start using Instagram a lot and
Use Instagram.
interacting with the female accounts. That it's a proper just cultural thing of being cutesy and etc. is the way to be. It seems.
Yeah, but
You're no better than me. I'm literally just looking at it going, "What the hell?" But so I don't think it is. I think
I'm telling you it is.
Right, I don't think this is about baking. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's a great way for it. This isn't. Look at her. This is not about baking.
No, it's not about baking. It's to show, again, look how trad she is about baking. And again, I actually don't have an issue with this. I think baking a cake is fine. It's something that is virtuous. It should be valued.
Oh,
It's
as someone on
trash.
keto, I disagree. Look, right. Look at the front of her shirt there, right? Look at all that mess on her shirt. She should be wearing an apron, right? You are right. This is not about the baking. Look how messy she's got. She would cover herself with an apron, which would hide her boobs, which is why she's not doing it, which is why she's just making the sacrifice of getting covered in all that crap, because this is what this is about.
I don't know.
I do know.
Okay.
Trust me. I am well versed in this. She would be wearing an apron if this wasn't about getting people to like eye her up.
It's just interesting this caused a lot of controversy considering, like, let me try and find it. Like, this is what she posts normally, and it's the baking video that has caused controversy.
Yeah.
But then again, you think it's fine that she posts things like this, right?
Yeah,
Because it's like the calendar.
But then it is fine, right? But what I'm not happy about is the lie. Like, there's the lie. Like this, she's not pretending that she's not trying to get male attention online, right? And that's fine. A lot of men try to get female attention online. That's fine. It's totally normal because men and women like each other. It's totally fine. Just don't lie to me. Oh, I'm just baking a cake with my massive boobs out. No, shut up. You're not just baking a cake, all right? And everyone can see you're not just baking a cake. Otherwise, you'd wear a bloody apron. You wouldn't be going, and winking at the camera. Not buying it. Stop lying. And I've seen so many people were talking about this as well in my feed. Like, she's just baking a cake, bro. It's like, no, she's not. Otherwise, she'd be wearing a bloody apron. She'd be wearing a looser jumper. She would just be dressed normally. No, she's literally flexing like this to make her boobs the most prominent thing in the center of the frame. Don't lie. And it's fine to do it. It's normal. In fact, if you're going to do it, that's probably the best way of doing it because you're not, showing anything really.
Is this
it's all up to the imagination, but that is true.
Is this a lot of pent up energy from gamer girls back in the day? Because that's
No.
it's the same thing, wasn't it?
No, I never watched.
But the problem with gamer girls, that genre during Gamergate and whatnot, wasn't that it was women in gaming. It was women who were clearly just like Twitch thoughts, who were then playing games.
Yeah, look, here's me and then the small screen game. But no, I never watched any of that, so I wasn't bothered about that.
I have a question. When do you think it is okay for women to be sexual in society?
Well, there are lots of circumstances.
You want the Islamic answer?
Yeah. All of those answers are never.
No. I was going to do a segment about it, actually. We did look up sex advice in the Islamic part of the internet. And it's literally just loads of advice where they're just like, no, you don't have to be so worried. You can actually have sex with your husband. It's just like, really? So loads of Muslim women think that they've got to be super trad and not sexual all the time. And so they actually need essentially a bunch of resources and counseling online where it's like, no, you married him now. You're meant to do that and go and enjoy it. Do whatever you
I got
wish.
naked in front of my husband.
Yeah.
That's good.
They take it way too far to the other side.
Yeah, I
That's the
bet
problem.
And that's the thing. I'm not trying to say that she can't do these things. Like, it's not bad if you're on like a night out to wear like, a revealing dress or whatever, because you're going out, you want to meet a man or whatever. Okay, fine. I mean, I'm not saying I'm pro it or anti it, but like it's normal and it's not like deceptive. It's perfectly upfront of what you're doing. But it's when I'm just baking a cake. No, you're not just baking a cake. Stop lying. That's the thing that bothers me.
I think two things can be true at once, though. Like, you can look cute in a video coming from a Azuma woman. You can look cute in a video and think it's about baking the cake, and also be like, "I have boobs," I think that's a valid thing as well.
But if you wanted to make a video about baking a cake, you wouldn't be in it at all. Like, you just literally have the camera on the cake.
No, that's the male-female difference.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, but the only reason
men film the thing, women film themselves with the thing.
Yeah, but that's because there's nothing in it for a man to have himself in the shot. Like, women aren't going to be like, "Oh wow, he's a super cute guy, I'm going to like it." But men will be like, "Oh, she's a super cute girl, I'm going to like it." Right? It's the women judge men and validate men by the things they do. Men validate women by the things they see, by the way they look. And that's the entire difference between the alien species of men and women. And I'm telling you, that's why these women aren't wearing, that's why they're boobs in the center. Oh yeah, I'm wearing the ultra tight shirt and I don't have an apron. And look, I'm baking a cake that's just half off screen. Like, no, it's just the way things are. And it's fine. It's normal. It's just, we just should be able to be honest about it. That's all I'm saying.
I have an answer to your question. I don't know what you think of it, but I think probably when you have an exclusive relationship, because I saw this interview a while back where this guy goes up to a couple and he interviews the girl first and he says, "Would it be okay if your boyfriend here was liking bikini pictures of other women?" And she says, "Well, obviously not. That would be disrespectful." And he says, "Right, so do you think it's okay if you post bikini pictures?" And then she ums and ers and is like, no, that's different. It's fine. I think there definitely is an aspect of keeping that sexual aspect for the person you're exclusive with, rather than having it being public once you're in an exclusive relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's a valid answer. I know a talking point that Connor has actually made about digital infidelity, about like when women post themselves online, like in like even like a summer dress or that kind of thing. And again, they're doing it for male attention. And I think there is
Just baking a cake. No, shut up.
I think there is something to that. But again, if she wants to market herself as romantically available, that probably is the best way to do it.
It's fine, and it's not even that she shouldn't be allowed to do that or anything like that. Just be aware. Let's just call it what it is.
All right. I don't know if we have more to go through. Grown adult males in their 40s bullying this woman for posting a video.
Literally half of the cake is off the bloody screen. Like, I'm sorry, how could I copy that recipe? This is not about the cake.
What if you weren't into tits, though?
Then if you were a grandma looking for how do I bake that kind of cake, a brown butter caramel cake, you would not go to that video, right?
Yeah.
There's no use whatsoever. But if you wanted to see a hot girl making a cake, then yeah, that's a pretty good video, right? That's the difference.
And then I assume you added this?
Yeah, I just wanted to make the point that this is kind of the norm for women today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, like, maybe she is actually conservative, that she isn't like that all the time. Even if she is taking pictures in her.
How conservative can she really be?
No, that's the point, that the lady earlier with her big tits.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying that conservative women don't look for male attention. They do it in different ways.
No, but it's like hoflation, where there's different standards now.
Yeah.
So a conservative woman from 1910 does not look like a conservative woman from today, because the comparisons to the local whore, well, the difference is about the same, but the local whore in 1910 didn't look like this either.
Yeah, like the cake girl is wearing a Western equivalent to a hijab, pretty much.
I'm going to bring some more. Anyway, I suppose we'll end that there. If you want to tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, on Twitter is the best place.
I hate tags.
I do.
Okay. Just in the
Yeah, I hate text too, though. I mean,
has to be said. JessGirl03 on Twitter, where I post my opinions, and also the Vox Pops that I do with now Lotus Eaters.
If you appreciated that episode from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium contents on the site, such as the Epoch series, this episode on the Fourth Crusade. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Twitter at lotuseaters_com on Twitter. Thank you and goodbye.